Hi, this is Skoggit, and it's time for Story Time with Skoggit. Today's story is called That Darn Nickel. And before I get started with the story, like I do on every story time, I'll crack myself open an ice cold Lone Star, pour it in a glass, and then we get started. This story happened in about 1974. I was 17 years old at the time. And give you a little background. I went to work at a gas station when I was 13 years old. The manager of the gas station hired me, and he kind of like leased that station. He was a really nice guy. And his name was Ike. And I worked there up until I was 18 years old for the man. He treated me right. He was a good man. Ike was a good man. He treated me right. And can't say enough good things about him. Anyway, at 17 years old, I made assistant manager. Really, 16 years old, I made assistant manager. And in this is 1974, so Ike was gone, and I was running the station. The owner of the stations, this man owned like 7 of them. He had 7 full-service gas station throughout the city, and he was a pretty well-to-do man. I mean, he drove a brand new Cadillac, a 1974 model. Every year he got him a new Cadillac. Lived in a good side of town and dressed with a suit and tie. And he would come by every day to check on his gas stations, see how they're doing. Well, he came in that day, and I was where I happened to be working. And like I say, the manager, Ike, he was gone doing something, running errand, went home to eat, I can't remember. Anyway, I was there by myself, 17 years old, knew what was going on. And the full-service gas station which this man owned didn't do any like oil changes or mechanic work. All we did was pump gas, put water in radiators, air up tires, and fix flats. So that's what we did. Well, he came in and was kind of looking around, wanted to know how everything was going. And the guy what owned the gas station, he was complete. Well, I don't cuss on my channel, so y'all get the idea what I'm thinking. Anyway, he came in and he was looking around and everything, and we had a peanut and a candy machine, and it was like one of those. Back in the day, they had well, I haven't seen any around. Oh, I did too. I seen one. My barber, where I go have my hair cut, he has one there. But they would have peanuts, and you could get candy out of them. Kind of like if some of the Walmarts have them. As you come out, they have like the little machines there, and you can get a toy or whatever, 25 cents or whatever. Anyway, this was a penny. And there was some peanuts and some candy. And the owner went over there. I guess he wanted some peanuts, so he goes over there. He puts a penny in, and he reaches in his pocket to pull the penny out and put it in the machine, and a nickel falls. And the nickel went rolling, and we have a drain in our station, which is about like this big. So when we clean up and like sweep and clean the floor, which is a cement floor. But when we clean it up, the water from the mop will go down in the drain. Well, that nickel rolled down in the drain. And he's like standing there, and I remember his look on his face like, oh man, there's a nickel down there. And he's like looking down there, and he says, I dropped my nickel in the drain. It went down, you know, he used some choice words, and I went down the drain. He was down there looking and everything, and he says, I see it. I see it. I see my nickel. And I'm like okay, so there's a nickel in the drain, so big deal, you know. He said, I've got to get my nickel out, because if I don't, I'm losing money. How is he losing money? I don't understand this. But anyway, he went, and we had another candy machine what had gum in it. And I'm not lying to you. He went and got some juicy fruit, and it was a pack of juicy fruit for I believe it was a nickel back then, and you get 5. Yeah, it was a 5-stick gum, and it was some juicy fruit gum. And he went to commencing to opening the gum and chewing them. And he chewed the whole pack. He was sitting there chewing the whole pack, took the wrappers and threw them in the trash can. And he asked me, he said, do you have any string? And I'm not lying to you. I said, I have a little bit of string. And I said, how much do you need? And he said, oh, about like maybe this long. I said, okay. So anyway, I went and got him his string. He took it. And here, this guy's wearing a suit and tie now. Imagine this. He chewing that gum, and he chewed the sugar out of it or whatever. He got it to where he needs it, you know, good and sticky. And he took the string, took out his gum, and kind of messed with it, wrapped that string around it, pulled it, and then what he did is he commenced to get on his hands and knees and drop that string down to try to get that nickel out. He tried for over an hour and a half to get that nickel out. And I'm not lying to you. He cussed and swore that every time he would like get a hold of it, it'd come up, it would fall, he'd be cussing and swearing. And he says, I got to get that nickel out. I'm losing money. I'm losing money if I don't get that nickel out. That's 5 cents. Then what he did, he went to the phone. He finally, after he decided he can't get it out, he went to the phone, put 10 cents in, and he called a plumber. And he got on there, called the plumber, and told the plumber that he needed him to come out and remove a drain because he's got money down there. So the plumber come out. The plumber come out, and he took that piece of the drain out because we didn't have any tools to do it. But he took the piece of that metal drain out, and the owner reached down after he got it out, said, oh, thank goodness. He reached down and he pulled out his nickel. And he said, now, he says, I'm not losing money. I've got my nickel back. Thank goodness. Puts it in his pocket. And I'm sitting there kind of like thinking, let's see. Let me get this straight. You dropped a nickel down in the drain. You put a nickel in the candy machine to get the gum, to get it out, which you didn't do. You made a 10-cent phone call, so that's 15 cents already, what you spent. And then you called a plumber out, which back then that was anywhere from $20 to $50 for a plumber to come out on a service call. So I don't get the logic. How did he come out good by getting his nickel out when he spent all that money to do it. Then again, that's why I'm not rich. So, this is Skoggit. Good thing about it is he got his nickel back, and he was so happy. And it wasn't even a rare nickel; it's just a regular nickel. I mean, 5 cents, 5 pennies, a nickel, you know. But it made him happy. He was happy knowing that he accomplished, and he got his nickel back. Therefore, he wasn't losing money. But like I say, the plumber, the phone call, and the gum, he lost more money than if he had just walked away. But I didn't say anything, but I guess that's the way the rich people looks at it. I don't know, I'm not rich, so to me, if I would have dropped nickel down there, I would just went on, you know. But anyway, this story time with Skoggit, and I found this kind of amusing, and I thought about this story and wanted to share it with everybody. And it just goes to show you the greed. I mean, like, I guess the more money a person has, the greedier he becomes. I don't ever have that problem, because when I get my check, my money's already spent. I don't have any. So, this is Skoggit. Appreciate all you viewers and subscribers out there. And y'all take care.